So, Mark, thanks for joining us. Do you want to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your history?
Hi there, I'm Mark. I'm also Bearcat Games, a solo developer. Been making games since I was about 10 years old on a variety of computers. Had 20 years plus as a professional developer, working for various companies, publishers like Microsoft, Konami, Codemasters. I left that and became a solo indie developer, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
So tell us about the game you made for Crater and what's it about?
And my game is called Scavengers Assemble, or Scavengers Assemble. It's a team-based game about collecting items, taking them back to your base, and then defending them from your opposite team. It's a really simple premise, but it's made complicated because the rules change throughout the game at regular intervals. Could be really simple things like it becoming dark or foggy. Could be much trickier things like the scoring rules changing, or introduction of landmines, or things like that, basically.
Great. What inspired you to come up with this particular game?
It's actually based on two old game designs I'd worked on previously. The first one was a game about collecting items and taking it back to a base where you score points for it at the end of the round. And we found that people were playing it in a different way to how we designed it. We thought we'd just be collecting stuff. And it turned into more sabotage, where people were just ruining other people's stashes rather than concentrating on their own. That was really interesting. The second design was for a multiplayer game where we'd just throw a bunch of players into an arena and then change the rules on the fly all the time. So it might be a deathmatch one round, it might be a collect them up the next round. We might just turn the lights out the next round. And basically, Scavengers was about smashing those two ideas together to create a collecting game where the rules change.
As you said, your game really plays on that idea of scuppering other people and kind of having fun sabotaging your opponents. Can you talk a little bit about how you double down on that in the game?
Well, I've always found spite to be a great motivator in multiplayer games especially. So basically, I try my best to do what the players don't want at any given time, and that seems to be fun and give them the opportunity to do what their opposition don't want at any given time. So there's plenty of opportunities for the players to sabotage the players by running into their base, putting negative items in their base. There's rule changes that allow you to do that as well. So there's one particular game mode where you need your base to be empty to score any points at all. So that's rife with possibility for the opposing team to just run in at the last minute and dump an item in there.
So what are you most pleased with in the final game?
I really like the way the rule changes worked. It's one of those things, when I implemented them, a lot of them were just random ideas, threw them all in there, and because they come thick and fast, it just constantly keeps the players on their toes. They're constantly having to deal with new situations. Sometimes the rule changes overlap, and that creates scenarios that even I hadn't allowed for. So yeah, that constant rule change that allows players to scupper each other, that allows them to come up with new solutions on the fly, that seems to work really well.
And what were your first impressions of Crater when you first started to have a play with it?
Really good. It was really easy to take an existing project and just start ripping bits out of it, adapting bits, tweaking bits, then adding back in new stuff. It was really easy to create lovely looking worlds, so I really enjoyed just playing with the world editor to get my level together and making it look nice.
Great. Thanks very much for talking to us, Mark.
Thank you.
Huge thanks to Mark from Bearcat Games for introducing us to Scavengers Assemble. That one will be playable as soon as Crater launches later in the year. But in the meantime, subscribe to our channel and make sure you check out some of our other creator showcases to see the other games that Crater's got in store.